region outlooks, and what's to come for your favorite football teams and top players. You're watching 5 Star Live. East Tennessee's #1 post-game high school football show. Live on location from the live interviews from the winning coaches and players, along with highlights from other big games from around Tennessee. Your host, Jesse Smithy, with decades of experience covering high school sports, and his 5-star preps team will update you on games as they become final, and will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5 Star Live.
All right, everybody, welcome into 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. We're here at CAK where the Warriors just polished off Grace Christian 48-21, now joined by J.D. Dunn, running back at CAK. And, J.D., I'm still waiting on the stats to arrive, but you had to go for like 200 tonight, right?
I think I went for 200. I honestly think I went for more, but I couldn't do any of it without my O-line, though.
Yeah, I mean,
thank them guys.
Y'all came in, you're a running football team, but you can mix in the pass there. And right there, really from the get-go, they started pounding you tonight. Did you know coming into this game that your number is going to get called to tote the rock that many times tonight?
Honestly, the coach said we was going to switch it up a lot, but honestly, you're right. I didn't really expect to run the ball that much, but I'm happy that I got it rolling. So did Deggs. He got it rolling to it. I say he got it rolling to it. He got it rolling as well. So, we kept him guessing. We switched it up, pass, run. They couldn't stop it. So.
How much hype was around this game this week? You guys have really grown into big rivals over the last few years. Obviously, a #1 seed is still up for grabs in between you two coming into this game. Just how much excitement, how much hype was going around the school about this game?
Man, every class I've been in, every single week, every single day this week, we've just been talking about Grace. And that was our rivalry, so obviously our school was turned. They wanted to beat Grace so badly. That's exactly what they wanted to do, and that's exactly what we did.
But you guys are 9-0 now. You win 48-21 tonight in dominant fashion. Still one game against Webb to play to finish off a 10-0 season. Just how far has this program come since you've been here?
Freshman year, it wasn't that nice, I'm not going to lie. But sophomore year, we went 8-2. It was fun. But I feel like this year, Coach Mo, he done pushed us a lot in practice and even in the offseason.
Like in West and Oak Ridge and wherever, and we saw somebody on Instagram said, hey, what about J.D. Dunn? And when I looked down the list, I was like, oh man, we forgot J.D. And you said it don't matter, we're going to show him during this season.
I said that.
Yeah, how much did you take that, not just that article, but really just trying to bust out individually this year and grow as a player?
I'm not going to lie. I really thought a lot of people sleep on me. And I feel like a lot of people, they discourage me because of my height, my size. But I feel like it don't matter about the height and size. If you can ball, you can ball. That's how it is. I'm just going to have to show them.
Looking ahead to past Webb, I know football, you don't want to look ahead week to week, but looking into the playoffs, just how motivated is this CAK team, not just to get into the playoffs, but make a deep run?
Our main goal is a ship. That's what it is. There's no iron team. My coach talked to us the other day about it. He was like, would you rather be a starter? Would you rather be a starter and go to the championship and lose, or would you rather be a non-starter, still work the starters and go to the championship and win? That's our main goal. We're not worried. Well, we're worried about Webb or next week, whatever, but our main goal is the championship. We want that ring.
Well, JD, man, I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Congratulations on that win. I'll give you a fist bump. Glad to finally see you play this year in person. Special talent right here. I admit when I'm wrong, and he'll be on my next running back watch list. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. So 48-21, CAK wins tonight over Grace Christian. Going to be joined by Coach Mo Zingo here in a second. You see him around here. He's over there. JD, I'm going to get you to put that mic down and go get your coach. Tell him to come over here. Let you boss him around for once. As JD Dunn, got to be our player of the game. Still waiting on stats for that, but had to rush for over 200 yards tonight in a big win over Grace Christian. And I admit, I mean, we did that article, and you talk about Kendall Jackson out there at Oak Ridge. You talk about Jordan Brown at Powell. You talk about Isaiah Mattress at West High School, and so many great running backs in the area that, like JD said, maybe slept on just a little bit. Nobody's sleeping on CAK anymore. They're 9-0, now joined by Coach Travis Mazingo. Coach, congratulations on the win, and we just got to talk with JD Dunn a little bit. And
how'd that go?
He did well.
Okay.
He did well. I mean, sometimes with high school kids, they get up here and they'll freeze up, but he did well.
I was more concerned that he wouldn't freeze up, that he'd just run his mouth.
No, he was respectful. He gave his offensive line credit like a running back should.
There you go.
But how special has he been this year?
I tell you what, I don't want to say I was surprised by it, Jesse, but because you look at a kid and you're like, man, he's got a lot of potential, but you never know till they get out there. And I tell you what, he's taken this, played early on with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And we've talked about that as a coaching staff. Play with a chip on your shoulder and kind of feel like the underdog. And then at some point, you kind of transition from that and you feel like, okay, I play with a little bit of confidence. And we've seen that evolution probably over the last 3 or 4 weeks, where he feels like, okay, I belong. You know, I can be the workhorse, and you know, I can get out there, and I'm going to have to get some hard yards, and we're going to keep wearing them down. We're going to break one here.
You guys are big on the offensive front. You're big on the defensive front. It just really all night tonight, I felt like y'all were dominating, but then I'd look up on the scoreboard and maybe it was just a 12-point lead or 13-point, two-score lead. And just what concerned you about that Grace Christian team coming in tonight?
Well, I mean, they're home run hitters, and we knew that coming in. I mean, they're gonna, they're not gonna small ball you. They're gonna try to throw it down the field, and that's. Every coach will tell you, if you can limit explosive plays, you can probably win a football game. And so that was our big thing, was, man, just trying to make sure that that we limit the explosive plays. We knew, I mean, we talked about it to our boys, especially our guys in the secondary, because, they're mental as it is. And it's like, hey, they're going to complete some passes. I mean, Cooper's, he's got, the deal. He's got 2,000-something yards.
Yeah, over 2,200 yards.
Right, so it's not like he's going to come in here and throw for zero. So we know he's going to complete passes, but let's just, try to mitigate the damage here and make him drive the field. That's football on Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays. Make him drive the field.
I think they were right back in it. They were down 13. They're going for it on 4th down in their own territory. Your guys' length and your size on the defensive front, they get a big mid up, I believe number 8.
Yeah, Noah Olson,
and you and I have talked about his contributions this year, but he gets a mid up, knocks it down, and from that point y'all control it going forward.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we like Coach Carrick, our defensive coordinator, he works with the defensive line. That's his position group. So those rushmen, we feel good. Are big in the middle with Austin and Malachi, and then we're long on the edges with Logan and Noah. So we feel like, man, if we can handle our own on the back end, those guys are going to bring it home at some point on the front.
We're watching some highlights right now while we're talking. We'll get to the highlights in a minute, but I want to know where CAK is now. Did this clinch the region championship, or do you guys have to win next week because Webb knocked off Chattanooga Christian tonight?
That's what I had heard, so that confirms what I've already thought. So we've got to beat Webb, so it'll be Webb CAK for the region championship next week.
Okay. Let's talk about your quarterback there, getting him going on the ground as well in the air tonight.
Ago, he banged up his knee at Silverdale, and so Thomas Simpson came in and played a couple of starts for us, won both games, one against a very good Chattanooga Christian team, and then one against a real athletic Notre Dame team. So Ryan, his contribution has been, hey, manage the game, get the ball to JD, let's give you some simple routes, because we didn't know his mobility. And then tonight it was like, okay, I mean, he's played against Grace enough that he wants he wanted the ball. I mean, that's what every good quarterback does. And so seeing him scramble, I mean, obviously you get a little nervous just because how it could end, but you also like just a guy that's got a little bit of moxie that'll go at it.
Yeah, he didn't play like a guy who was coming off of an injury. I mean, it just seemed like he'd played all 9 games for you guys this year, and that just goes back to his experience level.
Yeah, And that's a big thing. This is my first year at CAK, and I think we talked about this a while back. It's my first year at CAK where we've had a returning quarterback.
Yeah.
Our other quarterbacks were always seniors. I got here when Cole was a senior, and then we had a couple of one-year guys, and so having Ryan back for a second season has been a big deal for us. And just the whole his level of confidence is. These guys in that locker room, man, they love him, and so that's a big deal too.
Big play for CAK right there. This is now into the second half.
Yeah.
Grace gets right back in it with Grant Warwick here down the sideline.
Yeah.
You mentioned about them being home run hitters and getting in their yards, and this is the play right here that really turned the game.
Yeah, they got weapons everywhere. We're like, okay, we got to take care of number 4. Okay, well, don't forget about 5. Oh yeah, we can't forget about 6. So that's our whole week of prep and watching film with the guys. It's like, man. It's like we know they're going to have guys, and so that was a concern of ours all night.
What's this package here? We got Big Boy right there leading the way.
We call that nasty. Years ago we called it sumo and this and that, but they call it nasty. And we were at our staff meeting on Sunday afternoon, and we get together at the end, kind of as a full staff, after being split up offense and defense. It's like, we're starting the game in nasty this week. Like, really? And they're like, yeah, we feel good about it. Like, they won't expect it, this, that, and the other. And we're like, whatever, do your deal. So that's how we started.
Who was the guy in there that was blocking? Who was the big guy in there who was blocking for JD there on that run?
That's Malachi and Delp.
Does he ever want the ball?
Malachi and Delp?
Yeah.
Yeah, every week they're like, hey, what about the package where I get the ball? And I'm like, I'm going to look at that package.
You're seeing big guys scoring touchdowns on the college level and NFL and high school as well. So I'm sure that at some point down the road, maybe you toss him a cookie or something there.
I'm going to not tell him you said that. Hopefully he won't watch this.
Well, Travis, man, congratulations on the win. Thank you guys so much for the hospitality and bringing us here. And 48-21 CAK over Grace Christian. And before we get to our first break, we always do a trivia question on 5 Star Live presented by John H. Coleman. And tonight our trivia question is this. Since we're at CAK, how many Mr. Football winners does CAK have in its program history? You can answer on Twitter, hashtag it 5 Star Live. You'll have a chance to win a prize pack from Gold Star Nutrition. So again, how many Mr. Football winners does CAK have in its program history? We'll announce a winner on the show a little bit later in the night. All right, that's it for the first segment. Let's get to a commercial break. When we come back, Kevin Smith will join us. We'll start breaking down the action from this game and around the area right here on 5 Star Live.
Cooper Container, your corrugated packaging specialist for the East Tennessee area. Proud sponsor of high school sports in the 5 Star Preps coverage area.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
It's great. I mean, I love worshiping and learning about God and learning better ways to be a man of God.
There's no way that you can come here and your relationship with Jesus not get stronger. It's just so powerful. The Holy Spirit is just so powerful at this camp.
I just feel like this is a lot more than just like people coming together and having fun. Like, it just helps people grow towards Christ.
Welcome back to 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. The weather's kind of going crazy right now. Last week we were up here freezing our butts off and shaking, and I couldn't even think straight because it was so cold. Now we're out here in short sleeves. So if you're flipping your AC on and then turning it back to heat and then back to AC, something may go awry here in the next couple of days. If it does, give John H. Coleman a call. Kevin uses them. I use them. They're a company that's been around in East Tennessee for decades upon decades. Thankful for them for supporting high school sports. All right, Kevin, let's get to tonight's game. 48-21, CAK wins over Grace Christian. What were you looking forward to most? Jared, let's go ahead and roll the package. What were you looking forward to most out of tonight?
Well, both offenses come in averaging 36 points a game, but it was CAK's defense I was really focused on, only giving up 17 points a game. Their D-line comes in front seven with a lot of sacks and tackles for a loss. I wanted to see how active they were, and they did not disappoint tonight.
J.D. Dunn was somebody that I was looking forward to tonight. 35 carries, 298 yards, 4 touchdowns, and what a spectacular performance by number 2, J.D. Dunn. But Grace Christian didn't go away. They were in it all night long.
Yeah, I think CAK is going to look at this film and say, yeah, we won 48-21, but they had multiple chances to put this game away early, and they let Grace Christian hang around, and that's not what you want to do when you get into the playoffs against good football teams. You want to put them away when you got the opportunity.
Was impressed by Ryan Deggs. Of course, we mentioned with Coach Mo that he had missed some time with banging up a knee earlier in the season, and just the fact that he can come in and run the football like this lets you know he's back to 100%.
I really like this young man. If this guy, the way he was throwing the football, he missed a couple throws, and he's going to be upset about that in the film room, but he also made some throws. When he can run around like that, and they also have the running game that they do, again, they can win in any weather.
14-21 passing for Ryan Deggs tonight, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns, and let's see what he play calls here. I don't remember this play. I'm just going to sit back and watch this for a second. I believe, have they already got the interception? I believe this is a touchdown pass here.
Yeah, so really the game for me changed, Jesse. You know, see, Grace didn't get a first down to the 4th drive of the game, but they hung around, and they made it 8-7. Then the very next drive, CAK showed a lot of toughness about them and answered the call. Grace gets the ball back down 14-7 and throws an interception. Yep. The corner squad, did a great job in cover 2, and then immediately Grace goes down, CAK scores again and gave them that cushion that they never lost the rest of the night.
J.D. Dunn, you see him running wild right there and getting down into the red zone as CAK really starting to kind of put it on, and I thought at this point was really in control of the game as J.D. Dunn goes in for one of his 4 touchdowns. And it's a team that's 9-0 now. It's a team that looks like it could contend for a Division II AA state championship. What's out there maybe in the mid-state that could possibly stop this team?
Yeah, and I think you heard Coach talking about, getting that. This was another step to getting that 1 seed to host here in the semifinals, and you're going to want to host because they're looking at an East team out of the Middle Tennessee coming here. The East would be a number 2 seed. That's going to be CPA, who was the runner-up last year and has been the juggernaut of Division II AA, or Lipscomb Academy, who is absolutely loaded. They're actually playing tonight in Nashville. That's a game you want at home here in Knoxville. You don't want to go on the road and play either one of those teams because they're both loaded.
Things got interesting tonight. About a half mile from here, Webb School of Knoxville kicked a field goal to beat Chattanooga Christian 17-14. That means next week's game between CAK and Webb is for the region championship, when we kind of thought it was going to happen tonight. So
yeah, that's an absolutely huge game for both programs. Again, you want to be at home. You want to avoid the number 1 seed. You want to be here, and you want to make sure that Middle Tennessee team has to travel.
Let's take a look around the area, Jared. Let's go ahead and roll the Oak Ridge and Powell footage. Tonight, Oak Ridge jumped out to a 28-7 lead against Powell, and you're starting to wonder what's wrong with Powell. They get beat by West. They're starting to struggle a little bit. They find themselves down 28-7 on the road at Blankenship Field. Powell battles all the way back. 1:41 left. They score a touchdown, and they miss the PAT. Final score, 28-27 Oak Ridge. That team right there in the maroon or the crimson, whatever it is, they're a number 2 seed now and will host a first-round playoff game in the 5A playoffs.
And if their quarterback can throw the football, we've already talked about that. We had them early in the year. We talked about their offensive line was physical. They had an active defensive front. If they could throw the ball with Kendall Jackson, they had a chance to be pretty good. We've seen some squirrely scores. We talked about this from week 1, Jesse. We got a lot of guys in and out of the lineup due to COVID, contact tracing, whatever it is. And you're going to get some interesting scores and interesting games when this happens. But I tell you what, number 1, I like Oak Ridge and how they've battled back in their season after having some adversity. Shows a lot of toughness out of them. But also Powell. Powell's been in a lot of big games. We forget how young this football team is. There's going to be a learning curve. They won a couple of games early in the year that they they could have lost just as easily as they won. And now you're seeing a little adversity. How well will this young football team rebound and get ready for the playoffs?
Nobody, me, high school football fans around Knoxville in week 5 or 6 would think that Powell would be a 3 seed going to the playoffs. I don't know what they've lost. They lost their mojo, maybe a little bit of confidence. I know they need to get a Darius Redmond kind of going in the offense a little bit and kind of getting him back engaged, but they've lost a little bit of confidence. They had 4 first-half turnovers tonight. We talked about that on the halftime report. You cannot do that at this time of the year, or any time.
Can't turn the ball over. It's just, you can see it on the collegiate level, the pro level. You turn the ball over, it's a disaster. You're going to lose the football games. It's just the bottom line. Give up special teams touchdowns, you're going to lose the game. So I think Powell just has to go back to the drawing board, get a little bit of that run game going, settle down their offense, get the defense in the right positions. They're going to be fine. This is a division we've talked about all year. 5A football is absolutely loaded in the Knoxville area. Any of these teams can beat each other on any given night, and it shows you better be prepared and you better hang on to the football.
And sometimes I've seen this, when you get out of the grind of facing teams week in and week out of your region, you get into that first-round playoff game against a new team that you don't see. You get your offense kind of going again, and it's just like somebody hit the restart button.
Well, you smash teams is what happens, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't other side of the bracket seeing Powell in the first round.
No.
And that is another thing, too, Jay. You just hit a great point. When you're in region, these coaches and these teams, these players, they all know each other really well. It's just like being in conference play. If you take like the SEC, everybody knows everybody. They all have film on each other. It's very hard to win those football games, and it's even harder to beat a team twice when you see them again in the playoffs.
You saw the Waffle House hotline graphic pop up there just a couple of minutes ago. We're going to be joined by Maryville head coach Derek Hunt. They won tonight 21-0 on the road. Let's go ahead and air those highlights as well. Everybody talking about how McMinn County might deliver Maryville their first loss in region play in 20 years. It was 7-0 at the half tonight as Maryville gets an early touchdown there, but it wasn't easy tonight. McMinn County made them earn it.
Yeah, McMinn County has got some big bodies on both sides of the ball. This is a very impressive football team. This is a really good win, Jesse, for Maryville. Not because, they haven't lost a region game in 20 years. It's because this is the team that was supposedly their rebuilding team, or they're sneaking up on some people this year, and they've just continued to grind out wins, and they're finding different ways to do it, which is really impressive for this program.
DJ Burks gets in there to make it 14-0, I believe, Maryville, and Jalen Hunt was a one-man wrecking crew for McMinn County tonight. He ran for 229 yards. You'll see him in just a minute, number 17. He's a Western Carolina commit. They got that big offensive front with Bryce Goodner, an offensive lineman who's going to Virginia Tech. So Jalen Hunt got his yards, but everybody that kept tweeting me said, they can't just have one guy. You got to have more than one guy if you're going to beat Maryville.
Yeah, and they're going to have to be able to throw the football. Maryville's too good schematically to try to slow him down just enough to give them an opportunity to win. I have a feeling we're going to see this game again in a couple of weeks, Jesse, if everybody stays healthy. And I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed again with Maryville's ability. What did they run for 34 yards tonight rushing?
I think they got some there in the fourth quarter, ended up with like around 80 yards.
But, I mean, McMinn County, you're thinking, we hold Maryville to
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home.
Welcome back, everybody, to 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. Had a technical difficulty there. We're back on. Let's go ahead and get to our final Catholic and West. This game was scheduled kind of because of COVID. Fulton had to shut down for a couple of weeks. That left West without an opponent. They didn't play last week. Catholic says, hey, let's get together. Lamar Brown says, let's do it. And Catholic wins tonight 35-7. Ruined West's chance at a undefeated regular season for the first time in history. And West also had some players out because of COVID-related issues, including their starting quarterback. So I think that really took a little bit of the luster, a little bit of the shine off this game. West still comes back and gets an Isaiah Mattress touchdown. But, Kevin, only 158 yards of total offense tonight. I think a lot of that is attributable to not having some of your guys up front and your quarterback.
Yeah, and I think this is a game both teams, first of all, for the city of Knoxville, glad they both put it together. We want to see this type of matchup in town. I think it's good for both teams getting ready to finish up region play. You know, Catholic's in a position they got to win their next 2 games to even get in the playoffs.
Right.
They show tonight what they should be and what they can be, and that's stopping the run against West. Even with the quarterback out, it's still a good performance from them with the big bodies they have up front. They were able to get some offense going tonight, get their athletes the ball, and run the football. So it's good to see Tommy Witten and those guys get the football. I think that's what Catholic can be. And now we got to see it in region play, because this is a team that if they get in the playoffs, Jesse, they have the ability to make a run and win a state championship if they're clicking on all cylinders.
Caden Martin, 12 of 18 passing. That's a lot better clip than we've seen out of him this year. He's been hovering right around 50%, sometimes below. He did throw one interception, but he and Tommy Witten got back on the same page tonight. Tommy Witten, 6 catches, 154 yards. And that's a good West secondary, and all members of that secondary were present tonight.
Yeah, and this is a West defense that we showed you. I mean, they got after Powell, and that's a good Powell offense. So they are very good there. And you heard the 18 attempts. They were able to keep the attempts down and get the running game going. Right. That's a good sign for Catholic. And, again, this team has all the ability in the world to get it done and make a run.
All right, we're going to take one more break here on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. When we come back, we'll be joined by Maryville head coach Derek Hunt. Don't go anywhere. Stick with us right here on 5 Star Live.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0183.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
Welcome back to 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. Remember to send in tonight was, how many Mr. Football winners has CAK had in program history? Remember to hashtag your answer on social media, 5 Star Live, and send in your answer, and you might be the lucky winner of a prize package from Gold Star Nutrition. All right, let's go to the Waffle House Hotline, one of my favorite elements of the show, now joined by Derek Hunt, head football coach at Maryville High School. Derek, thanks so much for cutting out a few minutes of your night to talk with us. Big win down on the road at McMinn County. Tell us tonight, kind of in your eyes, in your coaching eyes, what was the difference tonight?
Well, thank you, first of all, Jesse. I really think our kids just played so hard. I mean, McMinn's such a good football team. Okay, sorry. McMinn's such a good football team. They're so physical. I think Coach Cagle does a great job, and they do what they do. First half, we executed the opening drive, go all the way down and score, and that, kind of got off to a great start. Defense, we were able to rally to the football and tackle their great running back Jalen Hunt, and it was a true team effort on defense. And I just felt like the second half was still 7-0 at halftime, kind of anybody's ball game. And I think we made a few more plays on third down than they did in the second half. And I thought that was the difference. Yeah, I mean, it was just a 7-0 football game at the break. And I wonder, at that point, is it a rah-rah speech at the half? Is it an execution, just let's stay the course type of speech? What was that message in the locker room at halftime? Yeah, I mean, I really felt good about our plan, and it was one of those games where you knew it was going to be low scoring, and there weren't going to be a ton of possessions, so you had to make the most of every single possession. But we got into halftime, and I felt really good about our plan on offense, and our coaches certainly did as well. There's a couple drives in the first half where we get behind the chains, we have a couple penalties, and get behind the chains, and it's just McMinn's too good to be 1st and 20. And continue to drive the football. And so we kind of shot ourselves in the foot there early. And so I thought second half, we just came out and executed and played clean football, that we would have a chance to move it and put points on the board. And when, we made some big plays and had some Carson Jones connected DJ Burks on like a 3rd and 11, picked up 15. And then that just gave us so much momentum. Nick Daigle had a big catch. Markel Fordberry had a first down catch. And so, we just executed through the air in the second half, and that was huge. A lot of hype around this game this week. Not only was it for a region championship, basically, but the streak started to get brought up again about how Maryville hasn't lost to a region opponent in 20 years. And, of course, you look at McMinn County's next-level prospects, their statistics. How much did you sense that from your players, that maybe they were locked in and focused, engaged on this game this week? Yeah, I mean, I thought our kids, it was a tough week for us, because we were missing some guys and some key spots, and there was definitely some adversity throughout the week for us. And so, to kind of get to Friday and just let it all hang out, I was so proud of our kids and proud of our staff. And, we don't talk much about, streaks and numbers and statistics at our practices. We're so routine oriented. We just show up and practice and try to figure out a way to get the job done. And McMinn, yeah, they've got some great players, and they're both of their lines are so dominant. So they're just so impressive. But for our kids to come out and play like they did and play so hard, super proud of them. The last 2 weeks, Carson Jones' efficiency in regards to his completion percentage and the way he's played, has he done anything different, or is it just coming to him easier now that he's had so many live game reps? And how do you explain his step up in play over the last couple of weeks? I just think he's getting better, Jesse. I really do. Like you said, this is the first first season he's been the starter. And the thing about Carson is he doesn't ever get rattled. He missed early in the first half in this game. He missed, 2 or 3 shot plays that could have easily been either touchdowns or, plays that flip the field for us. And, he just doesn't get rattled. He's just got such good poise, for a 16, 17-year-old kid. And so, he could come out in the second half and not let the first half affect you, and to make the plays that he made. I mean, he's a whole lot of fun to coach. He's a heck of a football player.
Somebody we don't get to talk about a lot, but I actually got a few texts about this man tonight, Lou Birchfield, and how big of an impact did he have on tonight's game?
He has an impact on every single play. I mean, I thought there was a point in time where in tonight's game where they had ran away from Lou, I felt like 6 or 7 times in a row, and I don't blame him. But Lou's still running plays down and making plays across the field. I mean, he in a lot of ways is the heart and soul of our defense. But he kind of the leader. But our kids rally around him and rally to the football tonight. We just played team football tonight, especially on defensive side. And Lou's a big part of that, and just made a lot of big plays.
Well, Derek, again, thank you so much for joining us on the Waffle House Hotline tonight, and congratulations on that 21-2 win down there at McMinn County. Was it a hostile environment? I've never been down there.
It is awesome. Yeah, you got to make it down soon. I love playing at McMinn.
Well, we tried to talk the 5 Star Live crew into making the road trip down there, but we got so many guys scattered around the state on Fridays. We got guys driving in from Nashville. We got guys scattered around their jobs. So it was just hard logistically to get down there. But someday we'll make it down there.
They got the best kettle corn in East Tennessee, so it's worth the trip.
Okay. We got the ringing endorsement on kettle corn from head coach Derek Hunt. Derek,
there you go.
I appreciate it again, and safe travels. I'm not sure if you guys are back yet, but best of luck the rest of the way. I'm sure we'll catch up with you in the playoffs.
Okay, thank you, Jesse.
That's Derek Hunt, head football coach at Maryville High School, and we're going to welcome back in Kevin Smith here as we start to kind of look around the area tonight, and Kevin's going to hop in here. We got a wide enough angle on our shot. There we go. Kevin, let's look around some scores tonight. Alcoa 43-0 winner over Gatlinburg. Pittman, no shock there, another shutout, and Anderson County 43-14 win over East Hamilton. That's 4 years in a row now. We talk about Maryville having not lost a region game. Anderson County hasn't lost a region game since joining that region, the kind of Chattanooga-based teams in 2017.
Anderson County is one of those sneaky programs, Jesse, that a lot of people just don't know about across the state. They don't get the state recognition, but this is a very good program. It's been very consistent for a long time. They've got an opportunity to make a run here as well.
Bearden gets a hard-fought win. When I read the score, you won't think that. It was 49-20, but Morristown West hung really tough with them throughout the night. CAK here tonight, 48-21 winner over Grace Christian. Claiborne wins again. Really good storyline going on up there. Just one loss on the year for the Bulldogs. They win 38-0 tonight over Cumberland Gap. Cleveland bounces back in a major way, 45-0 win over William Blount. Coalfield grinds out a rivalry victory over Oliver Springs, 14-7. Greenback, that is a team that we never talk about this year. They were state runner-up last year. Why don't we talk about them? They haven't played in like a month.
Yeah.
They come back tonight and beat a really good Midway team, 34-0. Then we're talking about a Midway team with a 2,000-yard passer, a dual-threat quarterback who can run it for 300-400 yards. That's a really nice win for Greenback.
Yeah, and when you talk about taking all that time off, they're healthy and fresh, and so they've had a lot of practice time.
Gibbs, the shocker of the night, 55-16. And I said this on our site. Region 2 5A, I can't predict. I mean, Central loses to Halls. Central turns around and beats South Doyle. Gibbs, they beat a Carter team that basically stood toe-to-toe with Central. It's just unpredictable week to week.
Yeah, it really is. And it's going to come down to turnovers and who's in and out of the lineup with everything we got going on right now in our country.
Kingston gets a win 7-6 over Pigeon Forge. I think Pigeon Forge went for 2. I saw on Twitter and did not get that. We talked about Catholics win 35-7 over West. Central High School won Thursday night 27-19. Big interception there at the end of the game by Caleb Fortner to clinch that win. Halls wins tonight 35-21, and Halls has taken that win over Central and rolling and cementing a really nice seed for itself in the playoffs, possibly.
Yeah, this is a good win for Halls for a couple of reasons. One, sometimes that signature win gets you on a roll. Then there's other times where that signature win, you start reading about your press clippings and you hear people talk good about you, and you get brought back down to earth. So this is a huge win for Halls in the sense that now they are legitimately moving in the right direction at the right time of the year after also having to take some time off. This is a very good quality win for them, and they're moving in the right direction at the right time.
You mentioned reading your press clippings and kind of getting full of yourself. Did that happen to Dobyns Bennett? They lost tonight. They lost tonight to Science Hill, 31-21. This was a Dobyns Bennett team, and I fell victim to it, especially after they smacked Farragut around and put up over 500 yards and 56 points. And everybody's looking ahead to next week when they take on Alcoa. And is this a trap game? It can't be a trap game. This is their rival, Science Hill.
Yeah, I think a couple things there. One, Dobyns Bennett, I feel like that we've talked about this earlier in the year. They kind of break your heart. They're 9-1, 10-0. They get in the playoffs, and then they lose in the second round. I mean, we thought maybe this was the year, and I think sometimes there's a little more hype put into a game. It would be real hard for me to believe they weren't they were looking ahead away from Science Hill, but this is not a good look for them going into next week because they got Alcoa coming to town. That's not you don't want to go 0-2 riding into the playoffs.
But like you mentioned a few minutes ago, it's hard sometimes when you see these squirrely results, as we call them, because Dobyns Bennett could have had 10 guys out tonight. I don't know. I don't know the reason for that. And so sometimes it's hard not to overreact when you see a score like that. But nevertheless, still a big game next week. Not a region game. Alcoa's 3A, Dobyns Bennett 6A. But Dobyns Bennett was trying to finish the year strong and send a message to Maryville and anybody else out there in 6A that they're for real. And they kind of fell on their face tonight.
Yeah, and again, you make a great point. We just don't know, and there's a lot of these teams that don't announce, that guys are out, and quite frankly, I don't know that I would either to give the team to even know. But, like West tonight, didn't have their starting quarterback. I mean, it shows. I mean, he's a big part of their running game. We're going to have these type of scores, and we may even have these type of upsets in the playoffs that we don't really know about.
Jared, did we have a trivia winner? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
We did.
Did they?
Old Head B.
What was his answer? 1. That's incorrect. The correct answer tonight. Should we give out a correct answer? We give him a little bit of time.
Let's give him to tomorrow.
Okay, we'll give you to tomorrow. The question is, how many Mr. Football winners has CAK had in program history? Think back to those championship years. There's some pretty special players here in 2011, 2012. And that's just a little clue.
Well, there's also another special player here that is still currently on the roster. I'm not saying he won it or not, but he was a very good football player here at CAK that's still on the University of Tennessee roster. You may want to look that up as well.
All right.
Hey, before we sign off, too, I want to make sure we have a couple guys with CAK tonight. I was really impressed with number 24, Grant Sturchie.
Yeah.
I probably just butchered his name, but, man, really impressed with him on both sides of the ball. And this defensive front is as good as advertised. You go look on 5starpreps.com at the stats. They are littered in the tackles for loss and sacks. They're all on the top. These guys are for real. They're good-looking guys. Mm-hmm. They've got size. They've got speed. They've got sudden and quickness. This is a good defensive front. This is good for CAK. When you can run the football, you got a quarterback who's athletic, and you can play good defense. That's a good recipe for playoff success.
That's Kevin Smith. I'm Jesse Smithy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to 5 Star Live presented by John H. Coleman. We'll try to figure out where we're going to be next week. Maybe we do what we did last year. We kind of set up this kind of playoff central headquarters at Dead End Barbecue in week 11 and just kind of monitored what was going on score-wise and letting people know who's in, who's out. Maybe we do that again. So check in with us next week on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and follow along with all the action in East Tennessee high school football. Thank you so much to CAK. We'll catch you guys next week.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home. build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0813.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
The great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0813.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
The great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.